Hello, this is Andrea and Daniel. Today, this is part 2 of our trip, and we are taking you on a cruise around Geneva Lake in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Lake Geneva has been a favorite retreat of Chicago folks for 150 years, and everybody who was anybody had a place there. The Wrigleys, Maytags, Schwinns, but also cartoonists, actors, brewers, and bottle cap makers. We are in Lake Geneva. We arrived kind of late. We had a rough morning. With my falling and us forgetting our instant coffee and another item, we had to go to a store to shop for these items, and we got really late. And one road here was
Highway 12 is a detour.
Detour, yeah.
And that would have put us way out if we would have followed the detour. Put us way out, so we had to take some back roads to get here, but it was a straight drive down to exactly where we needed to be. And basically, we were on the perfect time.
So they said that we should arrive at 10:15. What time is it now?
10:10 right now.
So it's 10:10. We're approaching Lake Geneva, the lake, I mean. We're in town. We parked under the shade tree. Libby's all set up.
We're not used to
not really knowing what to wear either, because it can be cooler out on the lake. So we have Daniel's holding the backpack. And now he's holding my hand so I don't fall down again.
Keep her upright.
Oh my goodness. It's like, okay, so how we have a distance to walk yet?
You can see the boathouse right there. It's about 2 blocks away.
Yeah, so that building is where we're headed. It is not Lady of the Lake. It's the first one on the left. Oh, this open one. Okay, we got a board now.
So you get me today, or at least part of the way. Unless you get thirsty, then you'll take over. After you hear my tour, you'll probably want to order a drink, so we will start talking. Yeah, my name's Chip, and I'll just, if you like my tour, my name's still Chip. If you don't, it's Camp John. If you look over here, you'll see that beautiful setting with the beach there, and that building in back of it. In 1894, a lady named Mary Sturgis donated the property. There was a shack there, and she said that you could have that as a park as long as it always remained a park. So she gave it to the city of Lake Geneva. A man named James Dresser, who was a student of Frank Lloyd Wright, designed the library building in about 1950 when it was built, and it's remained that ever since. Unfortunately, a lot of the houses here have been burned down or destroyed for various reasons. discovered in 1835 by a surveyor named John Boyne. He named it Geneva Lake after his hometown in Switzerland. In 1839, the government sold the land for $1.25 an acre. Lake Geneva, or Geneva, the town of Lake. This lake is actually Geneva Lake. The town is Lake Geneva, but it's a lot closer to Milwaukee than it is Chicago. But the reason that a lot of the Chicago people settled up here is, number one, it was the railroad ran Lake Geneva, the town of Lake Geneva, and also Williams Bay, so it was easy to escape. It's age.
Oh, okay, let's just go this way. So we're at the Victorian Mansion, and we're walking to the staircase. How many? 200 and
310 steps?
120
Or 120?
plus a couple of
All right, so that's not so bad.
little bonus round.
So this mansion is called Black Point. After going up the 120 steps, we were told to walk to the right. Isn't this porch pretty?
Come on up to the porch and have a seat. No, not a problem.
The landscaping is just beautiful. Okay, so we're going up on the porch. This home was built for Chicago Baron Conrad Seipp in 1888. His first wife left him with 3 children. She died at the age of 39. His second wife, he had 5 children with. Katharina is photographed here. There are 13 bedrooms, 3 floors. 4 generations owned Black Point before donating it to the Wisconsin Historical Society in 2005. There is a trail going around the entire lake, which the public has access to. I took a photo of the one going by the mansion.
This area here is called the Highlands, and this was the last part of the lake that was developed just simply because they had a lot of problems getting water and electric to it just because of the difficulties in the heights.
This house has 360 feet on the shoreline and was on the market for $35 million.
It has mosaic ceiling that they put up and parquet floors. And he also has a hand-carved table that would seat 100 people. The first floor is a parlor, a library, a music room, a game room, 16 bedrooms with adjoining sitting rooms and baths. The fourth floor is a gym, a miniature golf course. And the roof, he wanted to have a rooftop garden, so what he did was he planted willow trees on the roof. Unfortunately, they not only cascaded over the side, they grew through the roof. The roots grew through the roof, so on the right-hand side, there's a 16-foot swimming pool. In the basement, he had a 3-lane bowling alley, a jewelry vault, a huge laundry and drying room. In the sub-basement, he had a ice storage room. What he would do is he would harvest ice here, and he would pull it up and put it in his basement and cover it in sawdust. And then on hot summer days, he would take fans and blow it over into the venting system, and it would be a rudimentary air conditioning system. Unfortunately, after he died, his daughter moved back to Germany and wanted no part of it. So it sat vacant until she donated it in 1939. She gave it to the Episcopal Church for a girls' school. They had it for a while, but unfortunately, they couldn't keep up with the expenses because it took one railroad car of coal to heat that a day. So needless to say, they couldn't make enough having it be a girls' school. So what happened is then in 1960, they had an auction out here on the lawn for the back taxes. Somebody purchased it for $75,000. Now you think he got the steal of a lifetime, but he put $3 million into it and then went bankrupt. Then it became a Christmas tree museum in the lovely resort town of Lake Geneva. And it lasted about, well, there's varying, 6 weeks maybe. It might have lasted 3 months, but it didn't last long. Then it became a fancy restaurant, and that's thus with the name Stone Manor. It flourished for a couple of years, and then the chef unfortunately got into a car accident and died, and it never recovered from that. Then they got it right. Some investors bought it and turned it into 7 luxurious condominiums. And then a few years ago, a lady named Tina Trahan purchased 6 of the 7. She's the ex-wife of the Stars cable network, and she came from Naperville, Illinois. She purchased 6. The 7th one is owned by a person on the lake. He likes the way the sunset here, so but it granted her right that she could buy the 7th one when he's ready to sell, and she wants to turn it in again to the largest single-family house. She's here about 4 weeks a year.
That was the end of our cruise, and we had a very enjoyable time. After the cruise, we headed right over to Bigfoot Beach State Park Campground, found a campsite for the night. This is located on the east side of the lake. We're all checked into Bigfoot Beach State Park. We got set up here. We're heating up stir-fry vegetables left over from the other day when we were home. Oh, it's just warm here.
Because it's all treed in and there's really no wind.
Well, it's just so nice on Geneva Lake that it's quite a difference to come into a wooded campsite and you don't feel that breeze. But anyway, we're set up here to eat. So yeah, it's a late lunch. Libby did okay in the van. It was comfortable when we returned to it. After this, we just head to Kenosha area, and that's for visiting family. We were glad to take you around on the cruise with us on Geneva Lake and show you the highlights. Hope you enjoyed it.